Hi, I'm Becky Parsons and welcome back to Down Home Dietitian. Today we're talking about how to do a little bit of introspection to find the type of exercise that you're liable to stick with and enjoy, yes I mean it, for a long, long time. One of the things I work with my clients to find exercise that they're going to like is to learn a little bit about their exercise personality. I often get the question of what type of exercise is the best exercise for me to do? And while there are certain types of exercises that are more targeted to achieve a certain health goal or a certain sports performance goal, and we certainly take those into account, the number one most important thing in choosing the right exercise for you is choosing an exercise that you'll actually do. Usually that means something that you enjoy and that works with your personality, at least as your base exercise. When you've got a habit of regular exercise, then we can talk about tailoring it a little bit more. But in the first place, we want to find exercises that you like enough and enjoy enough to actually do. So, how do you find your exercise personality? One thing to consider is, are you a mood exerciser? So some people have to be in the mood for a certain type of exercise in order to do it. Some people are not mood exercisers and they can do the exact same workout every single day, no matter what mood they're in, no matter how they're feeling, and they are good with that for years and years and years. Mood exercisers need to have a variety of exercises in their arsenal available to them so that they can pick whatever they're in the mood for that day. So maybe on a day when you're frustrated, you go for heavy weightlifting or kickboxing. And maybe on a day when you're feeling really energetic and athletic, you want to go for some HIIT training. And maybe on a day where you're just feeling a little bit lower energy or you want something relaxing or low key because maybe you're feeling stressed, having some Pilates or yoga videos handy. Those kinds of things, if you find yourself to be a mood exerciser, that you maybe are somebody who makes a plan and then you approach your workout one day and you're just like, I am not in the mood for that. Consider having a variety of options that are all acceptable options for getting your activity in for a given day. That way you give yourself some grace and flexibility to get an exercise in any of these acceptable options as opposed to nothing if you reached your workout not in the mood to do what you'd planned to do. A second aspect of your exercise personality is what time of day of exerciser are you? Some people are morning exercisers. Trust me, they exist. I am not one of them, but they're out there. They get up early. They like to work out before their job begins or before they go to school, and they feel energized by getting up early, getting that workout in, showering, and being ready for their day. More power to them. They are people who, by the end of the day or in the middle of the day, simply just don't have the right mindset to get their workout done because they're already in the middle of their day, and trying to disrupt their day by changing and getting into a workout is just not a good fit for them. Some people are midday exercisers. A lot of times their schedule maybe dictates this, that they just can't seem to squeeze it in the morning or fit it in after because they have too many things going on, but they might be a lunch break walker. And then we've got evening exercisers who really enjoy getting their whole day behind them and using their workout to unwind. So they'll come home from work and they'll just work all the stress of the day out, stretch it out, and feel great going into their relaxing evening. Any of these options are totally fine. None is better than any of the others, but knowing which one you are is really helpful. Okay, so this one's kind of a fun one. We have rip the Band-Aid off exercisers versus joyride exercisers. Rip the Band-Aid off exercisers are people who want to get in, get their workout done, feel it, and be done and over with. So these are people who want to sweat, they want to feel the burn, they want to feel like they're doing something, and then they want to be done. So these people are better fits for more intense types of exercise where you can get the same cardiac benefits in about half the time by doing something at a higher intensity. So something like high intensity interval training or more like boot camp style classes. They're a lot more difficult and a lot more intense, but often a lot shorter. These are great fits for those people. Then we have our joyride exercisers. These are people who are like, you know what? If I'm not having a good time, I ain't doing it. I would rather spend a little more time and enjoy the ride and not be in pain. These people are great candidates for things like group exercise classes, or for sports, or for workout videos at home of things like yoga or Pilates or cardio dance, something that they really, really enjoy. And that varies a lot from person to person. But finding that thing that might be a more moderate intensity, spend a little bit more time, and just enjoy the ride. And one more thing to add, in less of an exercise personality vein and more of one of my favorite mantras when you're making health changes, embrace your quirks. We all have those little strange personality quirks that seem to defy all logic and maybe make absolutely no sense at all, but they can be used and leveraged to really help us make healthy changes. So here's an example of a personal quirk. I had moved to a home where I had a home gym and I was totally set up, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to be one of those people who gets up in the morning, so I have a home gym, I have no excuse. I'm going to work out before I go to work, and I'm going to be a morning exerciser. You may have caught earlier that that is not in my exercise personality. I am not a morning exerciser. I can be a late morning exerciser, but that's not my primary preference. So I tried and tried and tried to get up in the morning and get this exercise done before I went to work. And I just could not seem to make it happen, and certainly not make it happen and get to work on time. And I was so frustrated with myself for not being able to get it done. But first of all, I needed to just recognize and accept and admit that I was not a morning exerciser. That wasn't going to happen. In the past, I had been a lunch break exerciser and worked out on my lunch break when I worked at a clinic. And so I thought, well, I guess I could just pack a gym bag, take it to work with me. And despite the fact that I have a huge, fully equipped home gym at home, I could just do some body weight stuff or some cardio in my little office where I have a mat and a yoga block. It doesn't make any sense, but I guess I'll give it a try because lunch break worked for me once before. Well, the quirk that I discovered, and it's probably really shallow and silly, and I'm totally fine with that, but I feel super cool when I carry a gym bag. I know, it's ridiculous, but I discovered that carrying a gym bag with a cute workout outfit in it made me feel so cool that I would do it every single day, and I would get in some exercise on my lunch break, and I felt good about the fact that I did that, where my other alternative was to try to do it in the morning, fail, and then feel frustrated that I couldn't make myself do what I was trying to do. So, when you find these weird quirks, hey, a gym bag makes me want to work out, or whatever those quirks might be, just those weird personality traits. Observe them, notice them, and see how you can work with them or leverage them instead of just trying to force your personality to be different than it is. It's way more work. It does not help your emotional momentum one iota, and it'll make it a lot easier on yourself. So take these tips, do a little introspection, figure out what your exercise personalities are. Tell me in the comments, are you a mood exerciser? Are you a joyride exerciser or a rip the band-aid off? Are you a morning, afternoon, or night? What other kinds of quirks have you noticed that might help you make an exercise plan stick in your life? And how can you leverage them? Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, healthy doesn't have to be hard.